Good evening, everyone, and happy Tuesday. What a beautiful sunny day we had today. I think that little taste of spring is going to get us through the next little while.
I think it was a tease.
I do think it was a tease. There is often another blast of that white stuff that comes through, either end of March or beginning of April, but that's okay. We are going to take what we can get. And tonight I am creating with some nice bright sunshiny colors. So I think this is going to be that little taste of spring that we need. So welcome to Learning Live tonight. Tonight's topic is taking a layout kit to the next level. And one of the things that, or the main piece that I'm using tonight is the Simple Pages layout kit from Simple Stories. They come out with they took a break from layout kits for a bit, and then have come back. And the last few collections have had these super fun layout kits. Simple Stories also has card kits, and a lot of the things that I'm going to show you with layout kits could absolutely apply to the card kits as well. Matt, just do a double check on the comments. Everybody's hearing me okay? I know I had some problems with my volume on the weekend when I was doing a live, but everybody seems to be.
They don't seem to be saying.
Everyone's chiming in. All right, so that's good. Anyway, so that's the card kit. We are going to work on the layout kit. The other thing I will say is that even if maybe you're using a layout kit from another company, or maybe you're following a layout sketch or instructions or what have you from Pinterest or from something like this, all of these tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you tonight can apply to any kind of project. If you want to take things to the next level, if you think that your layouts are looking a little bit flat, the three things I'm going to share with you tonight will absolutely work, regardless of what you're creating.
We are getting confirmations. People can hear you loud and
clear. All right, loud and clear. That is good to hear. All right, so things that I have here on my table, of course, I have this layout kit, and we'll talk a little bit about the kit as a whole. I did grab some coordinating cardstock because this is Simple Stories. I made sure I grabbed the Color Vibe papers. It's dotted on one side and solid on the others. And what we do is, especially with the collection packs, maybe not, I don't know if Matt put it in for the actual layouts, but we do list the Color Vibe colors that coordinate with that line. So you don't have to guess. We don't have to match for you. Simple Stories has done all of that for us. So I have Peony, I have Pool, and I have my favorite line tonight. I don't know if we'll be using all of it, but it's good to have options. So that really is one thing that you can use to elevate your layouts, and that's just adding extra cardstock. I also have grabbed some embellishments. So I have some enamel dots. I have glossy accents. I know Sheila Mockery has been posting a lot in our Papercrafter Inner Circle that she's been using the glossy accents a fair bit. So I thought, why not pull it out for tonight?
You just got the little teeny itty bitty one.
I just have the little itty bitty teeny one. That's all I need. And then I've got some wobblers and some foam squares. And lastly, excuse me, I think I showed this in What's New recently. These are the photo flips. This one is the variety pack, so I've got a bunch of different sizes, but I thought this was the perfect opportunity to share and show you how to use these guys. All right, digging in. Sorry, I do have a little bit of a frog in my throat, so I'll be sipping my water. Let's talk about the kit as a whole. So in a page kit from Simple Stories, you've got your cover sheet with your pictures. And then you have your instruction sheet. So here we've got, it's called Tea Garden. That's the name of the collection. This is the Happy Together layout on this side, which is this one here at the top. And if you flip it over, you've got the other layout instructions on the back. Full transparency, I tend to just go by the picture. I don't always look at the actual instructions. I don't know. Matt's laughing about something.
Listening to you tell people that you go rogue.
Maybe not rogue, but sometimes the visual for me is a little bit easier, and then I just use the words as backup. Now, right here at the top, I don't know, let me come up a little bit closer. It does give you the photo sizes that you need if you are following the layout exactly. I have gone ahead and just cut some white pieces of cardstock to substitute in for my photos, and I may have to cut a few more if we're using those photo flips, but that's an easy thing to do. So those are your instructions. And then there are your chipboard embellishments. They are thinner than a typical chipboard elements that you purchase separately. But I find for a lot of things, this is all you need. You don't need anything two-dimensional. And if you want it more dimensional, that's where your foam squares are going to come into play. So we'll keep coming back to this guy. And then here are all your pieces. Now these kits are ideal for beginners because you don't even need a paper trimmer. Everything just punches out of the paper that is provided. So if you've got, younger crafters or someone who's really just getting started, all you really need is your tape runner. And then of course, if you want to elevate, it's all this other stuff that we've got here. So there's 1, here's your elements, 2, here's another one, 3. Got 3 pieces of elements, and then you have your 4 sheets of base pages, and these are pre-printed. So again, it makes it super easy to just follow those photos, follow those instructions, and lay your pieces out. You've got lots of great faux dimension happening with all of these different layers. That's number 1, and this is number 2. Now, I will also give you permission to just take these elements, the base pages, the punch outs, all of that good stuff, and do your own thing. You do not need to follow the instructions if you are feeling particularly creative. For example, you could flip your papers upside down if you wanted the green at the top and the little florals on the bottom. You could rotate them this way. Now, I don't know that I would with this one, just the way that it's laid out, but you've got those options. You could treat them as standalone single pages. Lots of options. Over here on this one, again, if this is your main page, you could also turn it this way. Though, again, I'm not sure that I'm liking it with the way those pages are printed, but you've got options. So here is our base page, and I'm going to do my best to keep that all on the camera for tonight. So without further ado, let's get creating. What we're going to do is we're going to start just by punching out all the pieces and laying out this layout here, the one that's called Happy Together. I just really like the little gnomes and wanted to work with them. So we're going to punch out all the pieces and lay them out. And that's what it would look like if you were just to follow the kit instructions. So what have we got here? Here is our base page, like so. What do we need? So looking here, it looks like we need a floral stripe, which are these 2 pieces here, because it does go on both sides. So we're just going to punch those out. I'm not going to put them in place until I get everything punched out, but we're going to see how easy this is to come together. There's 1 and 2. There we go. Just punch them out. And then what I tend to do, because I don't like all these big loosey-goosey pieces, is I'm just going to pinch them off and throw it in the trash so things don't get caught and twisted the way you don't want them. All right. I don't think we need any of these pieces. That's for the other layout. And then over here, we're going to need this guy for here. And you do want to be gentle, just to make sure nothing tears. Oh, come on, gentle. All right. Any questions yet, Matt? Any comments?
Not really. No.
Okay.
Just posting links to where the kits are. And
Perfect.
Janice is saying that it's 70s down in Arizona.
Oh my goodness.
Like, it's just stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
Things that you don't want to know about.
Nope, that's okay. We may need some of these words and things, but I think for now I'm going to leave everything else. I'm just going to double check. So yes, all of these little strips here are on the other layout. Now that one's got orange stripes, but I don't see any orange stripes. So maybe that's just an extra. It's okay. All right. And then over here.
I didn't think you were going to follow the instructions anyways.
I'm following the instructions and then elevating.
Oh.
So we've got our great big lime green doily. We need our little gnome friends. There's one.
Okay, now Linda's talking to code. Doing acronyms, I don't know what she's saying.
Okay. Here I need these little pieces for the pocket. Pop. And personally, I do find it easier to pop out as many pieces as you can so that you are not going back and forth looking for stuff later on. The flowers are out of the chipboard. We'll come back to the words. The words I will leave because they're little and they'll get lost. The frog is out of the chipboard. This little log is up here.
We're only doing one of these layers tonight.
We're only doing one tonight.
Okay.
Yep. And where is this guy? Oh, down here. Okay. Oh, and I need happy as well. So just like that, we've got most of our pieces punched out. Come on, happy. Keep it coming, happy. All right.
Is that like one of the 7 dwarfs?
Well, maybe it's one of the 2 gnomes.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. So I can just start laying things out. I've got a flower piece that's going to go right across. Like this. Interesting enough, and sometimes this happens, my piece doesn't go all the way across. My pieces are not going to go, is one longer than the other? Nope, they're both the same.
Cut it.
That's exactly what we're going to do. We'll get our photos laid into place, and we will camouflage. It happens sometimes, and it's because it was a punch out. It doesn't go the full 12 by 12, but we'll make that work. I'm going to get 2 4x6 photos. One's going to go here. One's going to go up here. This one's going to go over here. I need my 2 square photos. And again, that one will have to get trimmed, but that's okay. So a square and a square. These guys are going to go over here.
How many pictures are we putting on this thing?
There's lots of pictures. So this one has 3 4x6 horizontal, 2 4x4s, and 3 2x2s.
Wow.
And as a result, by cutting 3 2x2s, I actually have 4 2x2s. Just because there was one left over. So, but I don't think there's room. Maybe we could put.
Don't overdo it.
Yep. Thanks, boss.
Yep. You gotcha.
Okay, this will go here. And our happy and our flower is going to tuck in here. And I'm just putting these loosely into place. We will be moving things around as we go along. Okay, so this as very basic level. If this was all we were going to do, then I would start sticking things down. But, I forgot this guy here. And my little log goes over here. And the little tag goes in here. There we go. Now I've got all the pieces that we punched out. Now, like I said, if you were just following the instructions, all you would be doing is starting to glue these things down and calling it a day. But we want to take things to the next level. So what are some other things that we can do? I talked about cardstock, and one of the very basic things that you can do to elevate any layout or any project is add cardstock mats. It's going to add a little bit more color. It's going to add a little bit more definition and oomph to your photos. But I also like to use photo mats to draw attention. So I don't necessarily want to do a photo mat for all of these. I'm going to pick some key ones and just emphasize those. So I think I'm going to do my top left, and I'm going to do this bottom right. If you've ever seen me scrapbook, if you've ever seen me do anything with scrapbooking, one of the rules that I follow for myself is whatever you do to the left, you do to the right to have a nice, easy balance. So I'm going to do one photo mat here, one photo mat here. That's one on the left, one on the right. Hardest part is going to be deciding what color. I think because this is green and we've got this green here, I'm going to stay away, even though I grabbed the line, knowing that it's my favorite color by paper. I feel like it's almost a bit too much green here on this page. Same with the pink. We've got this background here that is very pink, so I think the pink might be going back in the stash. So this is where I come to the pool, which is this beautiful dark teal. And to me, this is starting to make a lot of sense. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces. These are 4x6 photos. So I'm going to cut this to 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and I'm going to cut 2.
So how do you decide to make whether to make the photo mat larger than the picture or make the picture slightly smaller than the 4x6 say photo mat?
It really is a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I tend to like to go bigger. Again, if we're using this as a focal point, we want this to stand out. Size as well as color is going to be what draws your attention to that focal point. Now, if you were creating and you actually had your photos and your focal point is one that you can trim down, then by all means, you could go ahead and cut your paper just to the 4x6. Very good question. So I'm going to do 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. I'm going to do it off camera here. I know you can't see me, but I don't want to move all of that stuff. So let me do my 6 1/4 first. And I need a 4 1/4. There's one. And a 4 1/4. There's 2. So now, because we've got the polka dots here, I think the polka dot side here might be a bit too much. So let me flip this over. And it looks like when I cut, I didn't cut this perfectly correct. So let me try this again. This should be 6 1/4. I bet I did 6 1/2. Sure enough. That's okay. You can always cut more off. So there's one there, and then that means this one I gotta cut down to. And if you really wanted to make one of these a super focal point, you could do a second layer as well. So I could do that lime green underneath if I wanted to, but I think I'm just going to keep it here with that little bit extra. It is popping it up off the background and drawing your attention to those two photos. Now, one last thing I'm going to do, because I do have lots of this left over, I'm going to pick just one of my 2x2s here, and I'm going to mat it as well. So then that way, when I am looking at my design elements and I connect them together, it makes a triangle, which is another design principle that is super helpful to keep things balanced. Make triangles with your elements. So, oh, and I bet I did that wrong again. Yep. Good thing it's just paper. 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, not 2. It's a good thing you guys are not seeing my cuts. All right, 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. That's going to go in behind. And hopefully you're starting to see how that extra little bit of the pool paper is adding an extra little oomph to it, drawing a little bit more attention and adding a little bit more depth and dimension. So that was element number 1. The next things I'm going to show you is the photo flips and the embellishments. So you know what? I think that's all I'm going to do from a paper standpoint. Again, if you are doing this, you can add as much or as little paper as you want, but I'm liking the way this is going. So let's go ahead and start attaching this to our paper, to our base page. I'm going to get the little embellishments out of the way.
I think you have everybody zoned out right now because nobody's saying anything.
Nobody's saying anything. Not even laughing at my boo-boos. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is find a place here. I'm going to say that's about 3 inches from the edge. Then I'm going to camouflage that underneath. There we go. So this one can come all the way to the edge. This will go all the way to the edge, and there's just that little bit of sneaky bit that nobody's going to be able to see. All right. And I'm just lining this up right against that polka dot stripe. Line it up on the edge. Whoops.
Uh-oh. You're going too fast with it.
No, I'm not going too fast. It's just, it's new, so it's getting worked in. All right, so there we go. And I can, oh, what did I just draw?
It's one of those days, is it?
It is one of those days. Craftastrophes in progress. Okay, so this is going to mat. This one I think I'm going to pop up, so I'm not going to attach it just yet. But this one, using that polka dot line, using the line on the ledger to help me get it nice and straight. There we go. Okay, this one I'll come back to. And over here, I've got to do the same thing. I need to trim this floral piece. Out of the way, out of the way. And so this one's going right against the stripe. Excuse me. There we go. Now my tape runner's behaving. Okay, and then this guy. Let's put them.
Did you put the big ones on first?
Nope. So this one I want to line up with this one over here, and I see that it's two stripes, 2 rows up on that ledger paper. Like so. Covers my little gap. There we go. And this one potentially is going to go right on that double. So we'll line it up there. And I'm just lining everything up so everything is matchy-matchy. Okay, this guy here, once again, I'm going to pop him up. So for now, I'm just going to attach it to my photo mat. And that'll go here. And I think on the instructions, they have these right down, but I'm going to go up a little bit, give us a little bit more space to play. So that's kind of where I want that one. So this is coming up, and I am keeping everything nice and square and flush. If you feel so inclined, you could do jaunty angles. But
I'm kind of surprised you didn't.
You know what? I've got some nice straight lines to keep everything in check. I tend to do jaunty angles when I am afraid of things not lining up. Okay, I'm going to take these 3 and I'm going to attach them with, let's do foam strips. That'll be easier. So 1, 2. So this is the second way that you can elevate. And as Matt said to me before we went live, this is the most literal way to elevate your layout. And that is literally to put foam squares and elevate your elements. So this one's going to go, I got to get closer here. Excuse my head if it comes on camera. There we go. So that's popped up just a little bit. Let's do this guy. One, 2, 3. Excuse me.
I kind of want to see what you do to further elevate.
To further elevate. Do you mean literally elevate?
No, I mean your type of elevate.
Oh, my type of elevate. Wow. Just you wait and see. All right. I'm going to come. There we go. And this guy, let's use squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now, only because you teased me.
No.
No? Straight on? All right, there he is. Excuse me, hold on. Okay, now we're back to these guys. So we've got the floral, we've got happy, we've got our Know Me friend, we've got the banner, the tag, and I'll come back to the log. The log is going to just tuck in here. So main elements, 1, 2, 3. Again, we're connecting, making a triangle. I am going to attach okay, so I'm going to attach the flowers right flat onto the page because I'm going to be putting happy over top, and that's the one I'm going to raise and elevate. So the instructions have it going right about here, but I think I'm going to overlap that photo just a little bit. And because it's raised, then I need to raise this as well. So that can just sit there. And it looks like it's just nice and flush, and your photo will still be able to tuck underneath. Now happy. Happy because this one's on foam squares, and I want this one to be even taller.
Double it. Double it.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to double it. Now, yeah, I'll stick with foam squares.
That's literally elevating it.
That is literally elevating it again. So there's one set.
You go 3.
Well, you don't, with a layout, you don't want to go too deep because then you're going to stretch your page protectors. So I think 2 is probably as high as I would ever go. Now that's a personal preference. You do you. All right, so I've got double squares there. And make sure it's the right way up.
That's important.
That is important. And we're going to stick that there. So now as we see it, we've got our photo is elevated, our flowers are there, our happy is even higher, and then we step back down to that little 2x2 photo. Over to this side. So this guy, I may move him, so I'm not quite sure. I'm going to leave him for a second. Let's do our little tag, our little pocket. This is where I'm going to grab some score tape and just make this into an actual little pocket by only adhering around the outside edges. All right. Get the little tag out of the way so I don't stick the pocket onto the tag. And square corner to square corner. Like so. Our tag can just tuck inside. And I am just going to overlap this corner a little bit. I'm going to do it just with regular tape runner. And just have it nest there right in the corner as per the instructions. All right, now we got this guy. So this guy is raised. We're going to raise this even higher. We're doubling it.
Are we allowed to say that on a live?
I don't know. And I'm going to put one in the center just for stability. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this, I'm going to strategically place it so that this part is what's overlapping the photo so I can stick my photo in afterwards. Like so. And then again, because this is double, I am going to just keep these little guys flat onto the circle. So there's one. And two. Okay. So what else have we got here? We've got the little log here. I'm actually going to tuck it under, even though the sample shows it, or the instructions say over. I'm going to go under. This one I'm not sure about. I don't know. There's something about it that I feel like it's going to cover up a lot of stuff.
Don't use it then.
So I think I'm going to put it aside. It's one of those things too that you could always add after you've got your photos on there. All right, what else? I need a frog.
Rivet.
Here's where we're going into our chipboard. So I need our frog.
Did that come with the kit?
This came with the kit.
Oh, okay.
He's going to go here. I need the rain boots. That's going to go over here. I need this floral cluster. And that's going to come over here. Then I think the rest is words and the little butterflies and things that we'll get at the end. Okay, so this one, I'm going to keep it flat. Come on, tape. My boots over here, I'm going to just keep it flat. Now, again, I'm putting this on top of where the photo would be. So if you want to put an actual photo on there, I might wait to put those on. This guy, this is where I'm going to have some fun and use my
that's good.
action wobbler on my frog. If you do not know what an action wobbler is, well, let me tell you, you are in for a treat. So it's these little spring type elements, and one side is thinner than the other. This one's a heavier, thicker plastic. That's the one you want on the top, so that when you flick it and you wiggle and wobble it, it's going to have more, I don't know if it's gravity or what that, but whatever, for whatever reason, you want the heavier piece so that it wobbles more. So I'm simply going to peel the backing on the thicker part, like so. Stick it down. Try to center it as best as you can. Like so. And then your little backings on the thin piece come off. And it is, no, these ones are all in one piece. Sometimes they're finger.
Okay, you're frozen.
And there we go.
You froze.
Okay.
You're back now.
Am I back on you? There we go.
Yeah,
all right.
Had to catch up.
So now we've got our little froggy going a wibble and a wobble. So far we've got add cardstock to elevate, add foam to literally elevate, and add action wobblers to make it interactive and fun. And what else could we do? Oh, my flip-flops. That's right. I forgot about those. Thank you. I was thinking about them 5 minutes ago, but then I got thrown off by the action wobbler.
They're very distracting, those action wobblers.
They are. So these are the photo flips from Simple Stories. And this is the variety pack. So we have a bunch of 4x6s. We have 4x4s. And we have 3x4s. Now, based on our layout, we do not have space, an appropriate space for our 3x4s. So I'm not going to use those. But we can use a 4x6 and now that I've already loaded this up, I'm probably not going to pull on here, but let's do a 4x4 up here. And all you have to do, now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 more photo spots. So this one's already 4x6. I'm good to go there. And I need a 4x4 here.
Can you add photos into these things after they've been adhered?
Onto the layouts, you mean, or into the photo flips?
Can you add pictures into the photo flip after the photo flip has been attached to your project?
Yes, you can.
Okay. It's just easier to do it before.
It is easier to do it before. Just because you want to double check that it is actually going to fit. Sometimes your photos aren't trimmed properly, but yes. And I'll answer that question in just a second and confirm how you would do that.
Okay.
All right. So here we've got the opening on the top. We've got our photo in here. Typically, actually, let me cut I guess I don't really need to cut another one, but with a flip flap, you can have a picture both on front and back. So they will both fit in there like so. So there's your opening. You've got your picture, you've got your other picture, and you've got this strip here. So the opening is on the top, the strip is on the back. There are a couple of different ways that you can approach attaching these to your page. You can either just attach it right to the page here, in which case you'll have this plastic showing. You can cover it with paper, you can embellish it, you can do other things with it, or you can fold it over and attach it like that, which is my preferred way of doing it. So now I've got this flipped over, that the opening is on the bottom, the strip is on the top. I'm going to peel that strip, maybe. There we go. I'm going to fold it under, and there is a score line there. And then I can just attach it here to my page.
So now everybody can be queen of flips and flaps.
So now everybody can be queen of flips and flaps. I have done it where I've added a second photo flip on top. So you've got multiple flips.
Boy.
Again, just be careful with your bulk. Excuse me.
You're the one who put a wobbly frog on there.
Yeah, put a wobbly frog on here. Absolutely. But you probably don't want to have too many flips going on at any one time, just to make sure that everything's going to stay stuck down. Now, the other thing is, once this is in your page protector, what do you do with this? Well, you can cut your page protector so that the flip goes through. Or I have also done it where I have attached that photo flip to the page protector, not to my layout, so that you've got, you can still play with it, you can still flip it, you can still interact with it without having to pull the whole layout out of your page. Now this one's nice because it's a square. So I've just folded it in. Peel the sticky. This one I'm going to do from the top. So again, I'm just lining up my photos so that they're all in line, and stick that to the top. And there you go. And if you have stickers and things, you can attach those to the photo flips and further embellish those. So I think we're getting close to the end here. We've talked about cardstock, we've talked about foam, we've talked about things that make it interactive, whether it's the wobblers or the flips. We're just going to finish off with our embellishments. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to, this is where I'm really paying close attention to the photo. But remember, nobody knows what this looks like. So if you put this in your book and you've either forgotten a butterfly, or you've added extra butterflies, or maybe you want to use the bees instead of the butterflies, it's all good. There is the orange butterfly. I think the dragonflies are in the paper. The words, Live life in full bloom. So here's full bloom here. Bloop. Bloop. And the little things must be paper. I need a green butterfly for up here and a pink butterfly for over here. Oh, and then together here goes with happy. Okay, so let's do happy because you're happy.
Hey.
No, I can't do copyright. I know.
Get in trouble. Facebook jail.
No Facebook jail. Oops. So happy together goes here. Butterfly. Butterfly.
So you've used tape runners, double-sided tape, foam squares, foam strips, and now glue.
Yep.
Is there any adhesive you haven't used?
Well, I haven't used the glossy accents yet. That can be an embellishment or an adhesive. And that's yet. I will be getting to that in just a second. All right, this butterfly, I'm gonna put here. Butterfly. So I need the little things.
You know, it's a good thing I'm here to talk to you. Because
everybody
watching is nobody talking whatsoever.
That's
you'd be lonely without me.
Well, I think we'd all be lonely without our mat, wouldn't we, ladies? I need dragonflies. The dragonflies are on this one. Dragonfly. I'm not going to worry about the little flowers, but I do feel like I need a dragonfly. What you do to the left, you do to the right. Okay. So the little things actually supposed to go up here underneath that butterfly. Make sure it's straight. Live life in full bloom. So according to the instructions, it goes here over top of this picture, but because we've got our flip flap, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to come down a little bit below. Nobody will know. Live life. And let's pop up our full bloom. Live life in full bloom. I need to attach this dragonfly. And I had a dragonfly over here that I don't know where it's going to go. How about right there, unhappy. Okay, 2 more things that I can share with you. Our enamel dots are wonderful for just adding additional color, additional shine. I like to apply them with tweezers. And I think color-wise, maybe this is where I'll go back to that line. And the pool is nice too. So what I like to do when I'm doing enamel dots is I like doing a large, a medium, and a small together in a cluster. That gives me a triangle within the cluster, and then I can match those clusters on other spots. So there's the large. There's the medium. Now you do you, but this is just the way I like to do it. So there's one there. We're going to do one over here, and then I will do one up here with the happy. Building my triangles. So there's one. 2, and the baby one. And then I'm going to do my last cluster, like I said, over here. 2 and 3. Come on.
Uh-oh.
There we go. So when you connect your dots, it makes a triangle. Any questions?
No.
No, everyone's just...
Justine said it's very cute.
Thank you. Thank you, Justine. Okay. I talked about glossy accents off the top, and Sheila's been using this on a lot of her projects lately in the PhD program. Glossy accents is essentially a clear fluid that dries hard. It dries hard just like an enamel dot, but it is clear. So it gives you the look of water or splashes or just anything shiny. So it keeps its dimension so that you can have that raised dome look. Now, it does take a while to dry, so that is why I always leave it till the very last thing that I do. So what I'm going to do, take my lid off. Now, I do personally have a love-hate relationship with glossy accents, and the reason why I like the smaller bottle is because there are times where it can get clogged in this nozzle. And I'm going to give you a tip at the end on how to get rid of that or how to avoid that. But one thing I do like to do before I start is just test it. Make sure it's coming out of the nozzle easily. Now, when it does come out, it does have a bit of a milky color or consistency, but that's okay. It will dry completely clear. So I'm going to start, just like reading a book, I'm going to start in the top left and work my way to the bottom right. As a right-handed person, that's going to help me avoid putting my wrist, my hand, and goobering up the work that I've done. So here I'm going to just glossy accent his nose. Glossy accent his nose. So he's going to have a nice shiny nose. I should have done this before, but I'm going to do the dragonfly body. Now that one got a little bit of a bubble. That's where I'm just going to take something pokey. Try and pop that bubble there before it dries.
So Justine is saying that she used that stuff there on a picture of her granddaughter as drool.
Oh, that would be fun. Yep. And glossy accents is safe on photographs. So you can use it on a photograph. I've used it when we've done pic photos of the kids jumping in and out of the pool. So you've got water splashes.
Not really showing up on the camera.
That's okay. I will bring it up closer in just a second. It's hard to do it. And then I think I'm going to do the little hearts here. All right. Before I bring this up to the camera, here's how you put your glossy accents away. You're going to tap, 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 so that all the fluid comes down out of the nozzle. And then I like to have a baby wipe or a paper towel handy, which I don't actually have right now, but I can use my fingers and just squeeze it. You can see those bubbles popping. Clear out the bubbles. Tap it again. Get it to all come down back into the bottle, and then you can put your lid on. And make sure when you're storing it, you keep it sitting upright so that everything stays down out of the nozzle, and you're going to have much less clogging when you do that. All right, so let me bring this up close. I don't know how well. Oh, there you go. You can see it on his nose. I've got it here on the butterfly. I think that's the only place. Now you don't even need to do it on an embellishment. You could do little drops over here. Again, I did it on the butterfly there. It's going to be hard on the camera.
It makes it look like those embossed from Paper Rose.
It gives you that embossed kind of varnished look to it. So there you go, folks. That is our elevated layout from a Simple Stories kit. All of these same elements you can, or techniques, tips, whatever you want to call them, can be used on any kind of layout to just, if you feel like you need to take your scrapbooking to the next level, um, add mats, add dimension, add shine, add interactivity. All of those things are just going to take your crafting to the next level. So thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you picked up a couple of tricks, and I challenge you to use at least one of these in your next project, and make sure you're posting so we can see what you're creating. Thanks so much and have a great night.